Alright, so this is just a basic tutorial on your multimeter and its various functions when using it. Multimeter measures anything in electrical circuits from voltage, resistance, current, continuity, and diodes. This is not an auto-ranging multimeter, so you have to individually select the range in which you're trying to measure. Starting off with DC voltage or direct current, which is symbolized by that M-like shape. It goes from 600 volts to 200 millivolts. Then you go to your resistance, which is measured in ohms. Starts out at 2,000 kiloohms and goes to 200 ohms. Then you have your continuity and diodes, which continuity just tells you if an electrical circuit is able to pass electricity through it or if it's open. And diodes will measure diodes, and they're represented by these two symbols. Next one is for accurate readings on batteries, like this 9-volt battery. You can see how much exactly it's charged. Then we get to your current readings, and this is for a 10 amp current, which is larger currents, anything under 10 amps, and should go right here if you're unsure, because this is fused out in order. And if you go over 10 amps or connect it the wrong way, you'll blow that fuse and have to reconnect it. This is for smaller ampages. You can leave your lead connected here. And then finally you have 200 and 600 volts, which is used to measure AC voltage, which is alternating current, is things like your wall outlet and whatnot. So I'm going to try a few of these things out, and first we'll start with a 9-volt and measure if this battery is fully charged or not. So this is negative. Use your black for negative lead. Use your red for positive lead. You should get, okay, so 9 volts. So it's exactly charged at 9 volts, which is interesting. They're not usually exactly on the point. But then if you switch these leads, you'll get the same reading but negative, and that's just telling you that your negative and positive is mixed up, which isn't a bad way to know where your power is coming from. Next, we'll measure resistance, and this is a 3.6 ohm resistor. You tell this by color codes on the resistor itself. So we'll see how accurate that is. Switch your multimeter to, we'll just go 200 ohms. So 3.9. Jumping around. That's about 3.6 resistor, I believe. And so that's measuring resistance. Then we'll go to continuity. Basically, like I said before, it just measures if an electrical circuit can pass electricity through it. And to demonstrate that, I just got this piece of electrical wire that we'll see about measuring. It should emit a little sound if the wire is able to be used in a circuit. So that checks out. Okay. Next, you can measure the power in a wall outlet. So we'll switch over to, I'll switch it over to 600 volts just to be safe. Should be about 120 volts coming out of your wall. And we'll switch over to that. A lot of these multimeters have a little stand. You can stand it up like that. Has a backlight. It also has a hold function, so you can hold your reading if you want to. Alright, so you just connect it to the ground and the positive, and so it's 124 volts, which is about right. And this is a neutral ground that you can see if that works by plugging that in there. And mine doesn't work apparently. Huh. Yeah. Alright. And the next thing is just current, which is different than measuring voltage and resistance in the way that you have to do it, because you have to go within the circuit, and that's you have to deconnect the circuit. So basically take this ground, and when it should be connected to the amplifier like this, making a sound, you would then use your leads. Let's switch over to 10 amps and 10 amps. Now, I believe this multimeter is actually my fuses blown in it, because I didn't buy this new. I've been testing out using it on amps or different things. So this, in theory, should work. It would have the current just going through my multimeter and back, and it would create a circuit. But as you can see there, I'm not getting a reading. And I've tried my other fuse too, but this is how you would measure amplitude in a circuit, and that's just basically the strength of electricity going through the circuit, not the amount. And so that's basically it for the tutorial, and that's all the functions you can use with a multimeter. They're super useful for anything from electrical work to industry. And I'll see y'all next time.